These are very basic data structures, but one of them is a bit special. Any CPU silicon has a hardware implemented stack inside. But why? To understand it, let's try to design the machine instructions for function calls. We want to generate the machine code to call the foo function from main. But in the first place, we need to understand what any function is essentially. Essentially, any function is a continuous sequence of machine instructions living in memory. It has the entry point and some kind of return instruction. We know the address of the first foo instruction, so to call it, we can use a regular branch instruction and jump precisely to that address. The question is how to go back. We want to continue the execution of the main function from the address 51C. But we haven't saved any information how to get back. We can fix it and save the return address right before the branch instruction. Let's use R14 for that. Its name would be the link register. So now, right before the branch instruction, we save the return address into the link register. 51C is saved. We branch to foo, execute all its instructions, and now we are reaching the last instruction. We want to grab the address from the LR register and jump there. And BX instruction does exactly this. These two instructions of saving the return address and branch are used together very often. So let's have a single instruction that does both. Its name is BL or branch with link. All the function calls are usually done with this instruction. This approach works if foo doesn't call other functions. If foo tries to call any function with BL instruction, the LR register will be overwritten with a new return address. And we are again losing the information how to get back. So each function should probably keep the return address somewhere in the memory. And the memory will be unique for each function. This way, the new function call will not overwrite the return address. This works perfectly fine until we face the recursive calls. The first recursive call will overwrite the return address into the memory, and we are stuck in the recursive loop forever. We need something more clever. Let's go through this example. Main is calling the foo function with -10. Foo will recursively call itself a few more times until the argument becomes 0. After that, the whole chain will return back. What happens in the machine code? Main calls the foo function for the first time. BL updates the link register and the link register points to the address 520. We jump to foo. It's a good time to save the current link register. Let's replace the first instruction of foo with the magic instruction that saves the link register in a smart way. And this is our storage placed somewhere into the memory. 520 is saved. Now we face the BL that wants to jump to the first instruction of the foo, so this BL is recursive. And it puts the new return address, which is 4E8, to the link register. We jump again to the first instruction of foo, which is save LR. This time, let's not overwrite the old return address. We don't want to lose it. Instead, let's save the new one upon the old one. Or in other words, we are stacking addresses on top of each other. Let's proceed. Each time we jump to the first instruction of the foo function, one more return address appears on the top. The recursive loop ends when the argument becomes 0. This time the if statement is false, and we go to the return code path. Where do we return to? We have saved all the return addresses into the memory. Each time we return, we want to restore them one by one. So let's replace the instruction right before bxlr with such a restore instruction. Now each time before return, we will get the saved return address from the memory. This way the whole call chain will unwind back. And finally, we are ready to return to the main function. Apparently it works perfectly fine. Restore instruction will get the return address that points to the correct instruction of the main function, and we jump back. Let's review what we've done. This object in memory that we used to stack return addresses on top of each other is called stack. This is a very convenient way to support function calls. So any CPU usually has two stack instructions: push to stack and pop from stack. How do we use it when calling functions? Very simple. Each function at the very beginning has to save the link register to the stack with push instruction. And before return, it has to restore the link register from the stack with pop instruction. Next time we will see how we can pass function arguments and return results.